It is Saturday morning, January 10th, the year of our Lord 2026, 9 a.m. in the East in these United States of America. You're doing lines with the Let's Not Do This podcast. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, joined alongside two of the unwisest men, not just in America, some would say the world. I go to say the universe as well. You got to my bottom, he's usually a bottom. Chris Green, how are you, sir?
I'm fine.
All
That
right.
was an introduction.
Yes, it was. And always to my far extreme left. So left, some people call him Che, one Scotty Too Hottie. How are you, sir?
Yeah, we're the unwise men, but you're last in the standings. Got it.
Well, it's a process. I still got time, and we'll figure it out or die trying. But yeah, we're here. We actually showed up. Unlike the Oregon Ducks, did they know that there was a football contest that they were supposed to be playing in last night? I still don't think they figured that out quite yet.
They knew. They just weren't
Oh,
good
yeah.
enough. Indiana is the best team by far in the country.
Told y'all they weren't that good.
That was a
They caught
absolute.
Texas Tech off the bye, off the layoff. Gave up a bunch of points to JMU. Not a very good regular season portfolio. Yeah, they're just not that good. And
That-
Cignetti knew exactly what they were doing that first play.
That was an absolute bloodletting. Yes, Dante Moore absolutely just staring down the receiver for the most obvious pick six of all time right off the bat. You had to know at that point, like, tonight's not going to end well. You get your kick returner destroyed on the first kickoff of the game on the return, and then the pick six right after that. It's probably like the worst start you can ever have to a football game. If that was like Madden, you would just disconnect or restart or something like that online like immediately. But unfortunately for Day Landing and the Oregon Ducks last night, it was real life. And as Chris knows, real life can be quite painful, especially when he to women.
So if you're Dante Moore, do you come back to Oregon or do you go to most likely the Jets? You come back, right?
Yeah, I would, to avoid being picked as a quarterback for the New York Football Jets, formerly the Titans of New York. I would rather serve on the front lines in whatever conflict insert that's going around the world right now than take snaps for the New York Jets. Yeah, Dante Moore, I can go back to college. Let's see, there's lots of pretty girls in Oregon. I can make NIL money, probably more than what I would get as a draft pick. And I can improve my stock because the last time I stepped on the football field, the last product I put out was absolute garbage. What would you guys
If you're Trinidad Chambliss, but you call Dante Moore and try to give him some money to enter the draft so he doesn't get picked by the Jets. Yeah, you can have 10% of my contract.
Oof. Rough. Trinidad Chambliss, by the way, denied another year of eligibility by the NCAA, so he'll be exploring his options, but apparently going to be trying to go professional. Maybe a fourth, fifth round guy from some of the things I've been saying. I think that guy could hopefully
he'll shoot
stick
up.
in
He's
the
going to shoot
NFL.
up.
Hopefully, and hopefully he can have a long career in the NFL. But that guy's game
He
is
played well.
built for the CFL. I can tell you that. With
Wait,
that arm.
who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Chambliss. Like I'm saying, hopefully he
Nah.
can stick in the NFL and someone will give him a chance. And his stock should go up. But if things don't work out, just like his skill set and how that game is played, at least right now, he'd be like a CFL Hall of Famer one day.
Yeah, he played well.
Yeah.
I think he made himself some money.
Definitely. So, all right. Well, let's make some money here on these picks. We got a full house back. Chris on the show for the first time in forever. He's got work release, not picking up roadkill. He's not painting houses. Funny story before we get into the picks, I will say that somehow at my place of employment, we were talking about community service yesterday, and one of the gentlemen, his daughter's getting ready to go to college, and getting all the extracurriculars, doing all that stuff, and some of the school clubs she was in was requiring community service, and I was like, "Oh, I've done community service," and immediately people turn and look at me like, "That makes sense." I was like, "No, it was nothing legal." It was through the college. I threw a party. Well, my organization threw a party that was so great that there were some issues that stemmed from that, and our repercussions was to do community service. So I did community service. for the school as part of my punishment there, set up through Greek life. But I did such a good job that the organization I volunteered with gave me a award. I don't think they knew it was punitive. And then I also won like Greek humanitarian of the year or something like that from my college. So I picked up 2 awards from a penal situation there collegiately.
You went to school with a bunch of scumbags, apparently.
Pretty much. And if you paid them enough money.
I bet you if they found that out, I bet you if they knew who you were, they would change their name. Oh wait, didn't they just do that?
Yeah. hopefully they'll burn down too one day. We'll see. But all right, speaking of burn down, let's burn down the house with these absolutely awful picks and standings here. And of course, I made the standings and picks and forgot to import them here as we do this live. I blame my wife because she wanted to go to a coffee shop this morning, and I was like, babe, I have the show to do, and she was like, oh, but coffee with your wife is really important. And I was like, you know what? It is. And so anyone that's married out there knows that no matter what your wife says and how long something is going to take, it always takes that much longer. And so coffee with the wife ended up lasting a much longer than anticipated. But here we are here. So I'm just going to go ahead and abandon the records right now. I'll bring those in here in a little bit. Let's get into those picks brought to you by absolutely no one. All right, picks brought to you by absolutely no one. Of course, you can sponsor those by sending an email to info@letsnotdothispodcast.com. That's info@letsnotdothispodcast.com. Had a couple of interesting solicitations in there. Nothing that we were necessarily interested in right now at the moment, but you know, you want to put yourself out there and help us grow your business and help us grow, we can do this well. But it has to be something that we're passionate about. We like food. We like alcohol.
No, it doesn't.
No. If there's money involved, I'm good.
I have to put my name with a product that works.
No religion, no politics. Other than that,
I don't think Third Street.
I'll take that
Baptist,
money too.
I don't think Third Street Baptist Church is gearing up to sponsor a gambling podcast, Scotty. I'm not sure of your grasp of religion.
Yeah, because let's not even going to comment on that. I'll get in trouble.
Yeah,
but you're wrong.
I believe there was a passage in one of those books where somebody flipped a table or something. I don't know.
All money is green. Bring it on.
All money is now digital, sir. There's no cash. I saw
thou shalt not bet 20-leg parlays every day.
Hey, I looked at my history from last year, and while my betting record is god awful, I was up like 300 units or whatever I think it was. I'll show you the stats. It was actually interesting. Parlays, bet small, win big. That's the Leon Oliver theory there. All right, let's get into it. I'll bring the records in here in a little bit, but let's get into these picks. Got NFL. It is wild card weekend. I don't know if the Panthers are actually wearing that uniform, but I like that picture. So wild card. We got 4:30 this afternoon on Fox. Carolina 8-9 hosting the 12-5 Los Angeles Rams. Of course, a rematch from earlier in the season when the Kitties knocked off the Rams there in Charlotte. LA coming cross country laying 10 points with the total set at 45.5. Chris, I don't know why. I just want to see you struggle. You can go first.
There's nothing to struggle with. I am above you in the standings, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the Rams should win this game. Are they 10 points better in the playoffs on the road? I don't know. So I'm going to take the under 45.5. I expect Carolina to at least put up a decent fight in the first half. So hopefully not a lot of scoring. Both teams have decent run games, so probably take up the clock. So yeah, give me the under 45.5.
Under 45.5 in Charlotte. Okay.
There is a 46.5.
Beautiful.
On FanDuel.
I'll take it.
Okay, 46.5 on FanDuel. Chris going under the 46.5. Scotty, are you joining him?
No, I don't like the line or the total. I would lean under, but these two teams scored 59 points in the regular season, and that was with Matt Stafford not playing well. I expect him to show up today. Question is Carolina going to be able to score? So, yeah, the line and the total, I don't know what to do with those. So, only doing one player prop, and it's the first game. You know, I love doing these running back receiving yards. It hasn't been doing net well for me this year. Did really well last year, but give me Rico Dowdle over 14.5 receiving yards. The Rams gave up the 5th most receiving yards to running backs this year. I expect LA to be up in the second half. So I think Carolina is going to be throwing the ball, and I don't know how much success they're going to have. So I do see some dump offs to Rico Dowdle, even if it does have to hit in garbage time on like the last drive. I could see them having to throw a lot in the fourth quarter. And so give me Rico Dowdle over 14.5 receiving yards.
All right. Rico Dowdle over 14.5 receiving yards. Don't hate that. I hate to join Chris on anything, but I am going to jump in the pool with him here at the under. You said 46.5. That's there. I'm going to go ahead and take that. As you mentioned, 59 combined points between these two teams back in week 13 when the Panthers got the 31-28 upset. They were big underdogs in that one. Listen, it's going to be wet out there in Charlotte today. We're looking at about 68, 72 degrees, somewhere around there at kickoff, and about a 65 to 78% chance of rain showers, which is a big variance there, but it's going to rain, and they're saying about maybe a quarter inch or so of rain there. So yeah, it's going to be slick, and it's going to be windy, about 12 to 15 mile an hour winds there. So I think that is going to have an adverse effect. Matthew Stafford, we've seen it historically in his career, outdoors in rain, not necessarily the best for a guy who's played pretty much all his career indoors at home. Obviously played at Georgia, so he played outside, but maybe he forgot how to play in those weather conditions there. I don't know, but we've seen him with a wet ball struggle before. Carolina, as you mentioned, with Rico Dowdle is going to run the ball. You got Chuba Hubbard as well. I think they want to ground and pound a little bit. Bryce Young is inconsistent. I don't think they want to put it on him to try to go out there and have an aerial assault with McMillan and Xavier Legette. I don't think he'll be back in Carolina next year, and I don't think he'll be doing a lot in this game. So I don't see them doing a lot of aerial assault here against this Rams defense. I think both teams are going to try to grind this out a little bit on the ground. So yeah, give me the under 46.5 and along with Chris on this one. Though I will say that 10 points, Carolina plus 10 is tantalizing. Just a team that's already beat them, adverse weather, and you're coming across country, and you're going to lay double digits with the Rams. That 10 points does sound tantalizing. I had to stop myself from taking it, but I'm going with the under 46.5. All right, moving on here. Prime Video, if you have a grandpa or an uncle, an older relative that likes to watch playoff football, he is going to be pissed because this game is on Prime Video. So you may have to go over there and show him, that channel that you turn to on Thursday nights, or I have to help you. You might have to help him again. Bears and the Packers, oldest rivalry in the NFL here. Another storied chapter in this one. 8 o'clock on Prime Video at Soldier Field. Green Bay laying 1.5, total at 44.5. Scotty, what say you?
A little surprised that the Bears at home weren't small favorites. I figured they'd be like 2.5 point favorites. So surprising there. So that means take the Packers. That's what I'm doing. Like I said, a little surprised at the line. There's a -1 at Hard Rock. So going to take that. I'm not a huge Jordan Love fan, and he is coming off an injury. He's been out for a little bit. But he does seem to kind of just catch fire every now and then when you least expect it. And he's got all his guys back. I think, is this the first game where he's had all 3 of his receivers playing? I think it might be. So they're finally healthy. They rested their starters, so they're all rested. And then the way the Bears ended the season, I don't know, it was a great story. And then they have that game against San Francisco where they just cannot stop anything at all. Like San Francisco just scoring at will, and then they lose to the Lions when the Bears had their guys out there. They had something to play for, that 2 seed, which will be important if them and the Eagles win, flips that home field. But for this week, I don't even think they're going to get there now. Just like I said, the way they ended the season, that defense isn't very good for the Bears. I think Josh Jacobs, all those receivers, I think they're going to have some success. And the Bears, they're going to have to rely on turnovers. I think Jordan Love, the one thing that gets on my nerves of him is he will just hold on to the ball. And that'd be the worst thing against the Bears because that means that they can't pick it off. Give me the Packers just to kind of wear them down. Josh Jacobs, that offense. And their defense is pretty good. They definitely have the better defense in this game. they're going to put up points, and I don't think the Bears are going to be able to hang with them. So give me the Packers -1 at Hard Rock.
Packers -1 at Hard Rock. All right. I was in Costco a few weeks ago after the last instance of Bears Packers, and there was a gentleman decked out in his Green Bay gear, and I was like, "You do know that y'all lost, right?" And he was like, "That's okay. We'll see him again. We'll play this game again, and it'll probably be in Chicago here in a few weeks." This gentleman was correct. So here we go. Hopefully, he's decked out in his cheesehead attire this afternoon. I am going to go with the over in this game here. We've seen kind of a high scoring contest with these teams before. Jordan Love is back healthy. Caleb Williams is explosive, but he will turn the ball over sometimes as well. A little high risk, high reward there. But both offenses, have the ability to explode. It's going to be cold, kind of a dryish that kind of favors like a high pace. There should be any weather conditions or anything like that. I like the over on this one. Not a lot of analysis. I think this is one you just kind of sit back, pop a bag of popcorn, crack a cold beer like Kirk Signetti last night, and sit back and enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a lot of offensive firepower. So give me the over 44.5.
Do we have a weather report from Chicago for tonight?
The last I saw, it was going to be about 30, 35 degrees. Wind chill going to feel a little bit colder than that. About a 30 to 40% chance of precipitation, maybe a little light snow flurries, and a wind about 15 to 22 mile an hour gust.
All right.
Yeah, action says 31 degrees, 10.6 mile an hour winds.
Okay.
I don't think that's the gust. It just should be a steady. So, I mean, it's not good for the over, but
that's like a total. That's like every day in Chicago. They don't call it the Windy City for nothing,
That's fair.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Well, I am going to fade you both. I think that Chicago has a better coach. I think they have the better quarterback at this point. And I think they have a better run game. Their defense is god-awful, but with the weather, I don't know if that's going to matter a whole lot. There's going to be a lot of running. Give me Chicago plus the 1.5, unless you got something better for me.
I believe that's the best. Let's see.
Yeah, quick check early.
So you're just fading me. You're not.
I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, plus 1.5.
Okay. All right, cool.
Bears plus the 1.5 for Christopher. All right. Moving on down the line here. Flipping the script to Sunday. Headed to Duval as the Jacksonville Jaguars 13-4 hosting the Bills 12-5. Jags laying the 1.5. Total set at 51.5. 1 o'clock on CBS. America's most watched network of stars. I'm sure half of Western New York is going to be making a trip down for this game, because if you're in Western New York in early January, you want to do anything to get into some warm weather. And I'm sure they're going to buy every folding table at every Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever it is in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. So get ready to pick those up on the side of the road in the parking lot after Bill's Mafia dives through those. Have fun with that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start off with this one here. Buffalo, I know they're, what was it? I just got the record from you. I know they're 12-5, but why do I feel like Buffalo has had a disappointing year this year? And we've seen that offense just kind of been stagnant. Yeah, they can run the ball with James Cook, but obviously, Josh Allen has nothing in terms of wide receivers. Shakur has been up and down. I mean, you brought in Brandon Cooks throughout the season. I mean, thankfully he's been better. They do have, the tight ends with Knox and Kincaid, and they got the other two guys that they work in there now. They're, they'll roll through those guys. Obviously, Josh Allen had the foot injury toward the end of the regular season. Just feels like offensively they never quite figured out their potential. This season that concerns me, especially against a Jacksonville team that seems like it's playing its best football going into the postseason right now. They're confident. They've won 9 of the last 10 games. Trevor Lawrence is clicking right now. Yeah, I like Jacksonville to get this win here, and I forget the stat here that I had in front of me, but I believe the Bills have lost like their last 8 road playoff games or something like that. I don't have that in front of me here, but it doesn't bode well for Buffalo historically. Here we go. Josh Allen has never won a road playoff game in his career. He's 0-4, and the Bills are 0-8 in road playoff games in the last 33 years. I don't think that changes tomorrow. Give me the Jags to cover the 1.5 there.
All right.
Unless there's a
There
better
is,
number.
That's what I'm looking at now. What's the money line? I'll give you money line minus 108 over at FanDuel.
Boom. I'll just take the money line.
That's where I was looking at first, but everybody I've listened to is on Jacksonville, and that's never a good thing when every single person saying Jags. They are the better team right now, but I don't know. You mentioned the 0-4 for Josh Allen on the road in the playoffs. 3 of those are against Patrick Mahomes, so
Fair point.
that might be a little overstated. I think he has like 3-1 in the wild card weekend for what that's worth. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Josh Allen. I feel like this is going to be, I mean, obviously the line is what it is, so they expect it to be a close game. Everybody's on Jacksonville, so that scares me, so I'm not touching that. I'm going to go with the under. It was at 52.5 yesterday. Obviously, that 52 is a pretty important number, but I still like the under. Jacksonville, a very good defense. Their run defense is really good. They're going to slow down James Cook. It's going to be up to Josh Allen just to be Superman. And then Buffalo, run defense is not good, but that pass defense is pretty good. And I don't know, this Jacksonville, Liam Cohen, good story, blah, blah, blah. Now they're in the playoffs. Now let's see what that first playoff game looks like. Maybe they're a little rattled. I don't know. So I expect both defenses to show up. Like I said, James Cook, I don't think he's going to go off. And I think Buffalo can do enough to slow down Jacksonville too. So, yeah, this is a big number. I don't see them getting in the 50s. So give me under 51.5.
Okay, under 51.5. Chris, you can split the difference here. Are you going to take the over? Are you going with the side? Where are we going here?
I am going with the best player in this game and the best player in the league. I've got a coach probably coaching for their job this weekend. Give me Buffalo to win outright. This is a Josh Allen legacy game. They did have a disappointing. They didn't win the AFC East. It's a disappointing season for them. Coach is on the hot seat. Josh Allen's going to do everything in his power. He's the best quarterback in the league, and he's going to have to show it tonight or tomorrow. Give me the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills, according to Chris Berman and Chris Green. So, yeah, going with the Bills. You're taking the money line? You're not going to take the point and a half?
No, don't need it.
Okay.
This fucking guy, the ball's on this guy here.
Okay. I haven't been on the show in a while. I got to make something crazy.
This fucking guy.
Jags by 1.
Yeah. All right, moving on down the line here. In the city of not so brotherly love, you got the Eagles hosting the 49ers, 4:30 Sunday on Fox. San Francisco getting 6 points coming across the country. Total set at 44.5. One thing that was interesting, I did see on Reddit, there was a 49ers, I guess, fan club. You know, all these fan groups and teams try to do like a city takeover when they go into a new city. I saw them run the Rocky Steps, which really isn't that big. People always make it out like running the Art Museum steps in Philly is this big task. My fat ass can do it, so anyone can. I've done it several times, sir. I was dodging gunshots the whole way up because this was Philadelphia, you know. But I did see they were looking for a bar in Center City, Philadelphia, to have a 49ers like takeover, and they reached out to, I forget the name of the bar, and they pretty much said, after not so careful consideration, they pretty much told them like to fuck off and go Birds, which is what you would expect in Philadelphia at every bar except for that one bar that's a Chiefs bar for whatever reason. But yeah. Good luck trying to find someone to host you in Philadelphia if you're a Niners fan. Good luck surviving Philadelphia if you're a Niners fan. Of course,
yeah.
You're coming from San Francisco where your car gets broken in every 3 seconds. So I don't know. You're probably used to it. I'll go ahead. I talked enough shit, so I might as well go ahead and just start talking about the actual football game. Philadelphia's offense, putrid, awful. We've seen them not complete passes, twice now this season in games the second half with no passing yards. That's not going to get it done against the San Francisco team, who they have been through the absolute crucible this season in terms of injuries. And look at them, 12-5 here. And I think they're getting healthy right at the right time. And Brock Purdy, I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And we got Christian McCaffrey as well. I think you're going to get a heavy dose of CMC. I think Kittle's going to make a big difference here for them as well. I like San Francisco. I think they're a better defense top to bottom than Philadelphia too. Give me San Francisco plus the 6 points here at the link. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in burgundy or whatever that is, red and gold, and also in Kelly green and Eagles green going to jail in this game. Get ready. You might need like the auxiliary police van with these two fan groups to show up and start jailing people.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate this line.
Just clip that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I hate this line so much.
There's some 5.5s out there if you like.
Yeah, I also hate Leon, and I want to fade Leon. So give me Philadelphia plus or minus 5.5. Philadelphia's at home. Jalen Hurts is absolutely a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
Really?
The offensive coordinator sucks. So hopefully they scheme some stuff. He's got better weapons on the outside. Saquon and CMC cancel each other out. So give me Philadelphia minus the 5.5.
Philly minus 5.5. One thing I forgot to mention in here, San Francisco is a road cover machine, 7-3 against the spread. They're on the road.
Yeah, but this is the playoffs. I'm not crazy about either one of these quarterbacks. Kyle Shanahan just makes average quarterbacks look better. I think he's a product of this system. But yeah, this line opened at 3.5 and it keeps moving towards the Eagles. So we're getting a bad number here, but I am agreeing with Chris with the 5.5. That 49ers defense just awful. They're banged up. And on offense, Trent Williams questionable. He has practiced 2 days in a row, but he's still going to be banged up if he's in there. He's really important, as we saw last week. And you look at San Francisco the last 2 weeks, I mentioned that Chicago game. They couldn't stop Chicago either. It was just both teams going up and down the field at will. 49ers finally got one stop at the end there to secure that win. But, that game. And then if you look at last week, the game San Francisco needed, they could have got the 1 seed and a bye that they needed pretty bad. You look at what Seattle did. They played really good defense. They had a quarterback that they just told not to screw up the game, and he did that. And then they had Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet just run all over them. What was it 13-3, 16-3?
Something like
one of those scores. Just dominated both sides of the ball, really. Now you look at the Eagles. What do they want to do? They have a really good defense. The defense is playing spectacular right now. And then on offense, they have Saquon Barkley. He's rested. Disappointing year for him. I expect him to come out firing and looking pretty good. And then they have a quarterback that you're going to tell just don't screw it up. So the same exact game plan that the Seahawks had last week, except where was that game last week? Was it in Seattle or it doesn't matter. It's in Philly. Those fans are going to be getting arrested and crazy and all that. And I just think I'm not crazy about Philly right now, but just the matchup, I think, favors them. Go ahead, give me the Eagles minus 5.5. It looks like a lot like that Seattle game last week.
That Seattle game against San Francisco last week was in Santa Clara, 13-3 victory for the Seahawks there. All right. Where was it? There was one thing I just saw an interesting note on this, and I forget where it was. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Over under for arrest in this game. I just thought about that. That could be a good prop bet.
More arrests than points scored for sure.
Yeah.
11 and a half.
People don't talk about it, but Niner fan likes to throw some punches too, They might take that brawling crown from Raider fans as they moved to Vegas now, and Raider fans turned into like club fan and with like DJing sections and VIP suites and stuff. Raider fans lost its grit. I think San Francisco fan now is taking on that San Francisco brawl of that West Coast brawler thing now. So, all right, should be interesting. I just want to watch the tailgating. I just want to watch what happens before the game, like in the parking lots here. All right, moving on. Coming across country, you got the Los Angeles, that says Rams, that should say Chargers, so I'll fix that. Sorry about that. The LA Chargers, well, it's LAR and LAC, there's too many LAs. But you got the Chargers on the road in New England taking on the Patriots. I'll let you guys start this one off here. Who's got the line on this since I had it taken down? There we go. Sorry, it was New England. Favored by 3.5, total at 45.5, 8 o'clock Sunday night on NBC and Peacock. Which one of you guys wants to start that one off?
I'll go first. Chargers plus 3.5. That's the line everywhere. It looks like. Yeah, give me that hook. This feels like a 3-point game either way, maybe even like a game-winning field goal at the end. Drake May's first playoff game. Herbert's been there before, even though he hasn't had much success. But, he got the rest last week. Let that hand heal a little bit. Obviously, that offensive line is banged up and not very good for the Chargers. But Patriots don't get a lot of pressure. They're 20th in the league in sack percentage, so I don't think that's going to affect them that much. And you've heard to talk about the Patriots competition. They've beat 2 playoff teams. One was a division team in the Bills, and the other just happens to be the worst playoff team in the field in the Panthers. So not the best level of competition. They beat the teams they're supposed to, so that is a thing. But I just think now, Vrabel, first year in New England, Drake May, first playoff game against a really good defense, and the Chargers, and they're playing very well right now. I expect this to be a really good game. But give me Justin Herbert to either keep it close or maybe even pull off the upset win on the road here. Give me the Chargers plus 3.5.
Ooh, Chargers plus 3.5 in Foxborough there. All right. Chris, you join them?
What's the weather going to be like?
Last check on this I got looks like temperature is about 39 to 46 degrees. It's going to feel like 32 to 41. Possible light precipitation with winds 10 to 13 miles an hour there.
All right, yeah, give me New England and Vrabel in the cold weather. Justin Herbert's soft. Harbaugh is a traditionally tough-nosed coach, but that whole team is soft, always injured. Give me New England. They should beat the shit out of them. Herbert sucks. He's not clutch.
Okay. Yeah, going with the Patriots. Listen,
soft. Guy gets hit more than anybody.
Yeah, soft. Yeah. Well, Joe Burrow would like to have something to say about that, about being hit. But look, Amari Hampton, obviously hard-nosed running back for the Chargers, but he is questionable, I believe. I believe he said he's going to play. This game is going to be a ground and pound fest. I think New England is going to want to run the ball. Obviously, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, they want to go back-to-back. I don't think they're going to have to ask Drake May to do a lot in this game. I think, kind of going on what Chris says, I'm not calling the Chargers soft, but I think colder weather, night game, playoffs, New England, it's set up for the Patriots to go in there and play some bully ball against them. And I don't think they're going to ask Drake May to do a ton. I think they're going to go out and impose their will on this team a little bit. I like New England to cover the 3.5. I think, honestly, they're going to run all over them. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game by double digits, like a 10-point win. Give me New England all day, minus the 3.5. And I'm definitely going to look at some rushing props for those backs as well. Definitely a Stevenson touchdown because he's going to vulture one somewhere along the way. Give me New England minus 3.5 at home.
Suddenly, Chris is less confident in his pick. I'll be on the island for sure. Chargers have the better defense. Chargers have the better defense, so
Yeah.
give me a 3.5. New England wins by 3, maybe. It's going to come down to the wire. It's not going to be either team imposing their will on anybody. It's going to be a good game.
All right. Let's go in with New England plus the 3.5 there. And then rounding out the slate, which, by the way, Monday night playoff game. I fucking hate it. Playoffs should be done on Saturday and Sunday. There should be no wild card on Monday night. Get it done Saturday or Sunday. All right. I hate this Monday stuff. And I get it. It's all TV money. It's one more exclusive window, yada, yada, yada. You're the NFL. You already have more money than God. You could probably buy like 87 countries around the world. Just play the fucking games on Saturday and Sunday. You got the Houston Texans coming cross country, taking on the Steelers. Houston 3-point favorites in the Steel City. Total at 38.5, 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. Will this be the last ever game for Aaron Rodgers? I feel like every game for the last 3 years we've talked about that. Who wants to start this one off?
I'll take it. Short and sweet. Houston defense good. Aaron Rodgers old. Give me Houston minus the 3.
Houston minus the 3 there. Scotty, you jumping in the pool with him?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much what he just said. I'm just checking the lines here. No 2.5s. Yeah. Texans minus 3. I know Tomlin, Monday nights, home dog. Usually that's easy money to bet on the Steelers when they're a home dog in a primetime game. But not here. They were lucky to get here. That Baltimore game last week was ridiculous at the end. Aaron Rodgers, this defense for Houston is going to be all over him in his face. He's not going to like that. It's going to be tough sledding. I know DK Metcalf is coming back, but I don't really care about that. Maybe he can get one big play. It's going to be tough getting the ball out for Aaron Rodgers. This Houston's playing really well right now. I mean, they're a team right now. It looks like they could be a dark horse to win the whole thing, really, with that defense. Stroud is playing better. The only thing they're not really doing right now is running the ball well. But the Steelers' run defense is horrible. So I think they can even have success running the ball here. I think this might make Aaron Rodgers question whether he wants to come back next year because I just think they're going to be all over him. And I guess I feel about this game like you feel about the Patriots over the Chargers, Leon. I think Houston's going to go in and just impose their will and win by double digits. So, yeah, give me the Texans minus 3.
Well, we can go ahead and fade everyone on this one because I'm going to save the graph. I'm going to complete this graphic. Houston minus 3 for me as well. That defense, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, they combined for like 29.5 sacks so far this year. And then you're telling me that against that offensive line and against Aaron Rodgers, who, I could probably outrun him right now. Yeah, you mentioned DK coming back.
You got to stop saying that.
I think I could. Hey, man, I'm svelte these days, all right? I know there's footage out there that we were not putting on this show of me losing a foot race, but it's a different situation if we made that foot race today.
I think it is. Yeah. You're still unathletic and uncoordinated, no matter how much weight you've lost.
I was,
And you're still going to fall down before you can complete the race.
Sober these days. I'm actually not even drinking ranch water right now. I'm drinking nice coffee. Listen, it is 9:39.
Sober these days or sober this morning?
This morning. It's 9:39 on a Saturday morning, and I'm doing this show with you two and watching lower division FA Cup soccer, and I'm still sober. That should be like worth the Presidential Medal of Freedom right there or something for me. That being said, Houston's going to come in there and kick the shit out of Pittsburgh. And then this is the perfect Mike Tomlin. I've been saying it forever. Mike Tomlin wins the playoff game, but the AFC North playoff game de facto, by the skin of his teeth. John Harbaugh gets fired. Pittsburgh gets a meaningless division crown. They get into the playoffs. They're going to get the crap kicked out of them. They haven't won a playoff game in like 8 or 9 years. Then we can always talk about, Mike Tomlin and the winning seasons and the division titles. It means nothing in a hill of beans. They'll get a mediocre draft pick and the cycle starts again. Aaron Rodgers is going to get punished in this game. I like Aaron Rodgers, but he's really going to have some questions about if he wants to come back and play football again after the beating he's going to take on this one. And who knows? Maybe Mike Tomlin rides off into the sunset as well after this and takes a TV job, especially with his buddy John Harbaugh being shown greener pastures there by the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know. It's just at some point, like, the cycle's got to end. This cycle of mediocrity in Pittsburgh, and it's just this is the worst division winner that we have in football. They're hosting a playoff game because they wanted the division. That's great. That's awesome. They don't deserve it. Houston's going to go in there. They're going to be pissed off. They got to go on the road, and they're going to be happy that they're not playing. What is that vaunted 1:00 game on Saturday that they always play in the playoffs? Yeah, they're going to be super happy.
You're not playing 1:00 on Saturday, so instead you're playing Monday night, and you get one less day of preparation for the next week if you win. Congratulations.
Yeah. They're going to be pissed off about that, and I think they're going to come out there and put it to them. So yeah, give me Houston to cover that 3 points easily. Maybe I might look at the under on like a Pittsburgh team total. It's like a prop or something as well. But yeah, give me Houston to cover that 3 easily.
I was looking at the under too, but I don't know. You mentioned Harbaugh. He's the reason why the Steelers are here. Good coach, overrated coach. But he's a good coach. But the end of that, I hate when teams do this. They were like I think it ended up being a 44, 45-yard field goal for Tyler Loop at the end there. But they had, I think, 8-10 seconds left and a timeout. You try to get more yards. Instead, they ran Lamar, lost a yard just so they can get in the middle of the field. Now you're kicking a 45-yard field goal where you could give it to Derrick Henry or something and get 4, 5, 6 yards and make it a 35, 38-yard field goal. And he probably hits that. Just silly. Teams always do that. I don't get it. Get your yards and get out of there. Do a high percentage play. Get closer. So you're running the clock down for like 4 or 5 seconds to call your timeout. You could have did something to the sideline and then did that dumb shit. But yeah.
I agree with you.
For that.
If you got a timeout, just halfback dive up the middle, and you want to center the ball that way, run into the middle of the field, try to pick up a couple of yards of forward momentum, then go down. But I digress. And by the way, if you're sending hate messages to Tyler Loop and to his family online, you really need to assess where you are in life. You are a loser, just an awful, terrible human being.
Be mad at everybody on that defense for letting Aaron Rodgers keep driving down the field at the end and to kill the under, which I had.
There it is.
It was
like the what game? The Miami Ole Miss game. I had the under. Same shit.
It was
feeling good in fourth quarter, halfway through, and all of a sudden, what the fuck?
Pat Forty, who I forget what publication he's with now, but he was watching in, I guess, a bar or something in Atlanta, watching the Ole Miss game against Miami. And as Ole Miss was driving the field at the end of that game, he said that somebody in the bar was screaming to kick a field goal. Because you know where their money was at that point. It was like, nope, they're down 4. 3 points doesn't help here, sir.
I'm sure there was a lot of people going crazy because everything came down to that last Beck touchdown. The total and the spread were all determined like right there. So I'm sure a lot of happy and a lot of pissed off people. That was one of them.
All right, well, that'll do it for the picks here. We got to get our underdog parlay. And speaking of picks, I do finally have the records here. So take these picks with a grain of salt. College football, which, of course, we don't have a pick for that. We will have that for the national championship game coming up here as we get closer to that. But Scotty leading the way at 50, 38-1. Chris, 44, 43-2. And I am woeful, 39, 49-1. Next year, I'm just going all FCS picks. All FCS all week, every week. That's what I can do.
You do your own show for that.
I am
down with that.
Going with the NFL. I am 45, 36-2 leading the way. Chris, 43, 39-1. Scotty, 37, 44-2. And then overall here, you got Chris and Scotty tied atop the leaderboard here, 87, 82-3. Now I'm bringing up the rear at 84, 85-3. Hey, as bad as I am at college, as bad as Scotty's been at the NFL, we are all right there. We got 3 games separating us. We're coming down to the nitty-gritty here.
Yeah, I need you to go 4-2 this week at least, so we can all be above 500.
We'll see what happens there. We'll see. All right, let's get into our underdog pick this week. I went with a different book that we've never used before on this one. I try to spread them around a little bit. The vaunted the score bet went with this one here. So we'll see if old Buster can get his Chewy box this week from the score bet.
I like the score bet. They keep giving me free bets out of nowhere. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, thanks.
It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I won something from them in their Black Friday promotion that they had going after. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with the score bet, they took over from what was ESPN Bet. And of course, ESPN Bet took over from what was the Barstool Sportsbook. So this is the latest iteration of that through Penn National Gaming there. But let's get into it. First up, somebody's on Nebraska basketball. The Hoopin' Huskers plus 160.
Yeah, that's me. They're undefeated and they are balling. They're going to Indiana. Indiana's good, but Nebraska is going to show that they are elite today. So go Huskers.
Chris, I actually like this. I was on the same side as you, and then when you texted me yesterday, you're like, "Oh, I'm going with Nebraska." I was like, "Okay, you can have this one. Then I'll pivot to another game." This is also a really smart play. I know, you were not galaxy braining this. A, you're incapable of it. B, I don't think you know what galaxy brain means. C, yeah. But this is actually really smart. It's a noon game in Bloomington, Indiana, after they just kicked the ever loving dog shit out of Oregon last night.
Did not even come to that. Yeah. So didn't even think about that.
You think those
that
Hoosier
place
fans
is going to be dead?
Yeah. Listen, Assembly Hall is always a great place for college basketball, always a great home atmosphere. But yeah, biggest win in school history last night. You don't think there used to be a bar there that had 10-cent pitchers in Bloomington? I'm sure some kind of drinking is going on there. There are going to be no kids. And if there are at this game, they are going to be hurting.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I just thought Nebraska was a better team. But yeah,
a lot of them were in
dead.
A lot of them were in Atlanta last night. So,
which apparently we've learned that Indiana has one of the biggest alumni bases in the country. I didn't know that. Yesterday, yeah.
Is there any Oregon fans there? There's a lot of Indiana fans.
It was just red. I did see the post game. I think it was Dante Moore was saying he saw red everywhere. He thought those were the seats, but no, those were Indiana fans. Yeah, I did see a thing last night. There was a Indiana fan that said him and his buddy were tailgating in the parking lot, getting ready to go to the game. His buddy had to be to work at 8:30 a.m. this morning in Bloomington. Cool. And so they watched the game, and he posted the Google Maps screenshot on Reddit. They were going to drive the 7 hours or whatever, so 7.5 hours overnight, so his buddy could get to work this morning. I don't know what his buddy
7.5 hours
does
driving a rocket ship.
I imagine in the middle of the night, it's considering traffic. I imagine in the middle of the night, you're taking major interstates for most of the trip too, from Atlanta to Bloomington. You could probably make up some ground there. And I don't think there will probably be a lot of state patrol out there at 3 a.m., I don't know. That's what it said. There was two routes. The one route was 8 hours and something. And then the other route was just straight interstates and something. It was 7.5 hours.
That's crazy. Because it took me on my trip to Indiana. I don't know where Bloomington is. Is it towards the southern tip?
It's centralish Indiana. But remember, people always forget this. Atlanta is very far west. Atlanta is further west than Detroit, Michigan. So you're further out there than what you think. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it took me about 8 hours to get where I was going in Indiana. And I was in central Indiana, so from Richmond. So
yeah, well, there ain't going to be a lot of Hoosier fans back home again in Indiana for this one. So Chris going with the Hoopin' Huskers there. Real quick before I get to this. So actually, you know what? I'll tell a story on my pick. Scotty, you got Tennessee plus 190?
Yeah, I don't know why you chose that font for mine, but
that's Tennessee orange.
Okay. Yeah, Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee is just a much better team so far this year. Florida has not been that good. Florida finally got a decent win in their last game out against number 18 ranked Georgia. They beat them by 15. So I'm expecting to let down. I think Tennessee goes in there, and they're the better team. So plus 190 is kind of crazy to me. So yeah, Tennessee.
Tennessee plus the 190. So I mentioned that I had Nebraska, but I ceded that to Chris. And then I was going to take George Mason at home today over VCU, but of course we can't bet that in the state of Virginia, and we're not doing, Profit X and No Vig and those kind of things. So I skipped away from that one. Then my next pick was going to be the Florida Panthers, who are on the road in Ottawa tonight, taking on the Senators, and that was at like plus 105 or something like that last night. As I was putting this graphic together last night, then it got bet. What's that?
It said, did the line flip?
Yes, they got bet down to even. And then this morning I opened it up and the Panthers are now minus 105 against the struggling Senators. So I had to go to another option. So I'm on my fourth upset here. So that tells you where we are. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers plus 220 in Philadelphia, taking on the
It's feeling
Eagles.
good until that.
Yeah,
I'm on my fourth pick here, sir. All right, this is when you're at the bar and it's 2 a.m. and the girl you were talking to has left you, and you go talk to another one. She says, "No, you're just looking for something at this point," and that's where the 49ers are. So plus 220 for me with the Niners on the road in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, I'm not impressed with this Eagles team. They have chemistry issues. They have offensive issues. All year long, no one has ever liked anyone. Somehow, some way, they've gotten into the playoffs, they've gotten a home game. That's great. I think all that's going to come to a head. I think San Francisco is going to put this miserable season for them by their standards to bed there. No one likes anyone in the team. The fan base is like just angry. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I think San Francisco puts them out of their misery. So give me the Niners plus 220 in Philadelphia. Put those together in the score bet.
Odds, at least. There we go.
You're looking at 23-13. This is one of our bigger ones this season here.
And that's going to be the score of the Eagles over the 49ers. 23-13.
While Chris was panhandling the last few weeks when he hasn't been on here and researching Ryan's trip through Ouagadougou and everything, looking for any luggage he may have left. If he had found $100 of Burkina Faso money, which I don't even know if they have money, maybe they barter chickens or something, I don't know. But if he had $100 in that country and he brought it back and he converted it to American dollars and he put it in the score bet, Scotty, and he hit this, what does plus 23.13 pay him?
$2,313 times $1 million in their exchange rate, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure if you took $2,313 to Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, you could probably just walk into the president. Thank you. You could probably just walk into the presidential palace and just take anything you want. You could leave with their constitution or whatever if they have one. I don't even know. Maybe it's just a picture of an AK-47. I don't know. You can just walk in there and take whatever you want. It's more money than anyone in the history of that country's ever had. Which, by the way,
not going any further.
I did watch a travel.
I had my one-liner. You did 12 lines, so
yeah. I did watch a travel video where a gentleman traveled to Ouagadougou on the flight. It looked every bit as bad as you would think it was. So, vamos Burkina Faso. So, all right, put those together, 23-13 on the score bet there if you want to bet those.
No, you should have picked Florida State basketball. I almost did that today.
No, we're
just to spite you.
NC State's going to take care
I almost
of
did Baylor to take down Houston, too.
So, yeah, I looked at that. But
Houston was really good, but that Texas Tech game was a pretty hard-fought game, and they looked like they were going to lose for a little bit. They stole it at the end, so I think they might have a letdown.
Florida State's really bad at basketball, so even though NC State's not good, Florida State's bad.
My fifth option, but unfortunately it started before the show, so I couldn't do it, and it actually ended as we were going on air. But my fifth option was going to be from the FA Cup this morning. And I know you guys don't care about soccer, but this before we get out of here, I did want to leave this.
What, did the game start remarkable.
Already? There's a team called Macclesfield Town. Yeah, it's already over. There's a team called Macclesfield Town. They're in the 6th division of the English football pyramid, okay? 6th division of English football. They were hosting Crystal Palace, who is from London, Selhurst Park, a Premier League team. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup last year. If you're unfamiliar with the FA Cup, it's a competition between all pro soccer teams in England. 6th division Macclesfield FC beat Crystal Palace this morning 2-1. I was going to give that as my dog because
you were.
I was. I texted. I got a buddy. We text Premier League all the time. I'll show you my text conversation. I was going to take Macclesfield Town. Also, the dressing room. I'm trying to find the picture, but the dressing room that Crystal Palace had to get dressed in for Macclesfield Town is absolutely hilarious. It is literally like we've seen high school locker rooms with better vibes. Before we get out of here, I got to bring this in and show this to you. This is where a professional team got changed and ready for a soccer match this morning. If we can bring that in here. That was the dressing room at Macclesfield Town for Crystal Palace. Had you seen the professional locker room before? Like this literally, like I've been in middle schools that had better locker rooms than this.
No.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I have, man. When I played middle school sports, we had better locker room than this. I mean, literally, you can fit 15 guys in here?
Nah, it's clean. Stop crying.
Yeah, it's clean. That's the biggest thing is middle school locker rooms are fucking disgusting.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's not the
I was gonna
professional league.
I was gonna give out Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson for my underdog. But it already happened.
Chaminade over Virginia. Yeah. You know, Appalachian State over Michigan.
Virginia.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So, hey, root for the Niners this week. This parlay is going to hit. You watch. So, all right. Well, that'll do things. We'll be back here on Wednesday for the Let's Not Do This podcast. What is that? Wednesday would be the 14th of January. So we'll be back for that. Maybe an early look. We'll have to workshop this a little bit. Maybe an early look. No picks. We'll save it for doing lines next week. But maybe an early look for the national championship game, which is Monday the 19th. Fucking, what is it? Semifinal game was yesterday the 9th. You got a 10-day layoff now if you're Indiana, 11-day layoff if you're Miami before you play a national championship game. Just play the fucking games.
Yeah, they got to. Well, I mean, Super Bowl does a week off.
Yeah,
but just the whole schedule in general, the NCAA, they got to stop being lazy and fucking figure it out.
Well, I mean, look at Oregon. They had DBs that they had converted over because they had guys go into the portal during this run because they were short on running backs. I mean, that's absolutely wild. And, you know, you can't really blame those guys because, hey, if they're going to leave, you're going to leave. You got to go into the portal that's open. You want to get to your new team so you can enroll in college and then go through spring football. Otherwise, you come in the fall and you're behind the 8 ball there. I mean, the calendar is the problem with the playoff and everything. They got to just move up the season or shorten the window or something. I don't know, but something's got to be done.
Start the playoff right away. Don't let anybody transfer until – like the semifinals at least, because even if those players are going to transfer, they're probably still going to play.
Yeah.
Figure it out, NCAA. Do something. Do your job. Stop being mad because players can make money and just saying fuck it and throwing up your hands. Do something.
Wild stuff. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you back here on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. And also, Scotty, you can follow our buddy Scotty here on Juice Reel and follow his picks there in the upper left-hand corner there if you want to.
You got to add me as a friend to see my picks. So
or you can don't add him as a friend. Purchase his picks. He's actually been good off the show. He's up several units I've seen. So you actually want to purchase those picks, which you can do on there. Give this guy a little bit of money right here. Scotty, never sell yourself short. You're not Chris. All right. Sure. Let's get out of here. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.